Alright, this video is going to be about pay-per-click. I'll just put this over here, still under the hypnotherapy for anxiety. Now, PPC, AdWords, pay-per-click is paid advertising, as this sort of says here, ads. It's 1, 2, 3, these three here, and if we move it over to the side, it's the ones down the side here. Now, as you can see, anxiety hypnotherapy. Oops, move it back a bit again. Anxiety hypnotherapy for anxiety. So your keyword has to match your ad. We click on the ad, has to match the page that it lands on. So this one says anxiety disorders. Doesn't really say anything about anxiety hypnotherapy. Well, actually, sorry, that's a lie. If we go up to the top here, you see this. If I highlight it, oops, let me highlight it. Let's try here. Oh, I can't highlight it. If you see anxiety hypnotherapy in the title tag, so it does have a little bit. It does say that it is about anxiety, not necessarily. Here I would have made this anxiety hypnotherapy disorders, or hypnotherapy and anxiety disorders, or getting it in that particular tag as well, in that title, and somewhere in this text as well to have it as well too. And the reason for that is, is you won't pay as much as what Google says, all things being equal. So actually, if we go back, just explain this a little bit better. So hypnotherapy for anxiety, doesn't matter about the four, but at least these two, hypnotherapy and anxiety, he's got it here, and then he's got it on his side again. I won't click on it again because it's costing him money. But the other factor is the click-through rate. So what that means is, if this shows 100 times hypnotherapy for anxiety, and he's got a click-through rate of say 5%, 5% of out of that 100 click on here to go to his site, and they stay on that site and read a bit of the information. They don't sort of click away straight away. He's going to get a good reduction in costs. And if I go over here, I'll show you what I mean. We'll go to the keyword for anxiety. Here we go. We're going to get rid of this. We've already got rid of the middle column. Good. So put this over here so you guys can see. Go back to the top. So if we're using just say anxiety disorder, $1.94 a click, all those three things that I said before, someone types in anxiety disorder, he's got the words anxiety disorder in the ad, and clicks over to the site or the web page on the website that's about anxiety disorder, and the person stays there for a length of time, doesn't sort of click there and says, oh, this is not what I want, and clicks away again virtually straight away in the next 2 seconds, 4 seconds. Google will reward you by reducing this rate here, and it kind of makes sense too. If they can put someone at the top that's going to click a lot more than someone who's not going to click a lot more, they can give you a discount on what you're paying here, because they're going to make it back in people clicking on the ad more, and you want people clicking on the ad more because you get people coming to your site. So they'll say, okay, well, we'll give you a reduction. You could pay anywhere from 50% of what that is to 2/3 to 3/4 of that particular price, and that reduction might mean breaking even or making a profit on whatever it is you want that page or website to do, whether that's selling a CD, calling a phone number, putting their name and email in to opt in for something, your newsletter, or whatever that case may be. And you can test and measure your results then. So if you have 100 people click and you're getting it at $1, it's costing you $100, and you sell 2 CDs at $49.95, you're kind of breaking even. But if you get a client later on out of those 2 CDs that spends $300, you've made $200 profit. Or you get 5 people to call you out of the 100 people that click to the site, and one of them turns into a client that spends an average of $200-300 with you, it's well worthwhile. Now the other thing that I didn't mention here as well too, that I might have touched upon briefly in the other video, but within the pay per click AdWords side of things as well, is if you can have this ad just targeted to Melbourne, or just targeted to Sydney, or just targeted to Sydney and Melbourne. We'll run it nationally. But there's nothing to say that if someone clicks on the ad and goes to that site, to your page, and they call you, and you might want to let me start again. And someone from Darwin calls you, but you obviously can't do that particular job because you're in Melbourne or Sydney or wherever. There's nothing to say you can't sell that lead on to a colleague or someone that you can trust as a referral in that particular town that doesn't know how to do this stuff, and make a cut, whether that's $5, $10, $20, $30, or whatever percentage of the job that they take. And it might not sound like much, and people say, why bother? But the thing is, you could virtually have your advertising for free and fund your advertising, so you can have your ad there for free, and then also have your organic side of things here, and you're kind of dominating that first page, and you're sucking out most of the traffic off that page. I hope that makes sense, because it's very, very powerful. I've done it in another niche, and I speak from experience. I'm not just pulling something out of my proverbial butt here, but the maths works very, very well. You can even push the price, what we were saying before, which is something it's totally contrary to what people think. People want to reduce this price, but you can start pushing the price up and pushing other people out of the market because they can't make it work. And you can push the price up to $5 because you can convert 10 jobs out of 100 that pays you $3,000, and you're happy to pay the $500. So just something to think about. That's pretty much it in that. The next one we're going to go into is the URL. So just to sort of finish off on this one, 3 things are taken into consideration: the keyword, the ad, and the page where they land on. They all have to be in sync, and you get a great reduction in price. And if you can write an ad that has people want to click on here, you'll get a good reduction as well too, and it's not hard. So a lot of people shy away from it, but there's a few tricks and tips and things that you can make it work quite well. And the thing is picking your terms, not just going for broad terms like anxiety. Why does someone type in anxiety? They might be just researching stuff, so you're never going to get a client at it. So what is it you want your ad to do? You've got to be very clear on what it is you want to do. You want them to call a number, you want it to sell a CD, you want it to opt into a newsletter to sell them later on. Fine, but you've got to be clear on what that is. That's it for now. We're going to talk into the next and last video, which is about URLs. Cheers.